Be me, 28, been with girlfriend for 6 years, met at a BBQ when we were both 22. She had a denim jacket full of edgy patches, mocked the way I opened my beer. Teasing turned into flirting. Flirting turned into 5 years of our lives. She worked in HR, ran meetings like she was the CEO. I was in IT, the quiet guy people only emailed when their laptop caught fire. We moved in together after about 3 years. Rented apartment, split everything right down the middle. I had been frugal since leaving college. Lived with my parents before moving in with her. My main goal was to save up a lot of money to get a house with a big deposit. Over time, my girlfriend and I's savings difference became pretty large, and over time I noticed she held a small grudge as we were still splitting everything equally. But keep in mind, our wages were pretty similar. I never felt comfortable paying for more of the bills, because in my head, this money was for my future wife, which I 90% believed was going to be her, but until it was certain, I was careful. After 1 year living together, I was ready to buy a house. She said she didn't have much saved, but could chip in with the deposit. And in other ways, cooking, groceries, furniture. I decided to not ask for any money on the deposit. She didn't even flinch. Even said less paperwork for me, lol. Should have known. Spent 3 months house hunting. Found a 3-bed with a finished garage and new kitchen, perfect combo of boring and functional. Mortgage, title, insurance, everything under my name. We move in. At first it felt like our future. She hosted wine nights with co-workers. Tried to start a little herb garden. I set up a gym in the garage and was finally sleeping better. Life was good. Then she starts getting bored. Says she misses girls' nights. Starts going out again. Friday drinks, Sunday brunch, Wednesday trivia nights with Megan from work who I never met. At first I brushed it off. Figured she just needed space. Until I noticed she started hiding her phone screen. Never used to. Now she'd rotate it like it was radioactive. She ended up getting one of those privacy screens. I asked her later, everything alright between us? She would always reassure me that everything was perfect, but it's not hard to tell when things aren't perfect. Then she tells me I've been cold lately, starts bringing up how we never go out anymore, like we're not adults with full-time jobs and a mortgage. I heard a line somewhere, if she's not being sweet to you anymore, she's being sweet to someone else. Decide I need to know. Tell her I have to go to a tech conference out of town. She kisses me on the cheek and tells me to have fun, nerd. Cool. Pack a duffel bag, drive 5 minutes down the road. Keep in mind we don't have each other's locations. Never did. Park behind a line of bushes like some kind of budget spy. Wait. About 2 hours later, Black Mazda pulls up, dude steps out like he owns the air around him. They hug at the door. She kisses him. Just a peck, but enough to confirm what I already knew. They go inside. I wait 2 minutes. Walk through the back door with my key. They're in the living room. She's on his lap. He's got his shoes off. TV playing some Netflix crap they're not even watching. I step forward. She freezes. His eyes dart to me. He stands up, confused but trying to puff his chest. Yo, who the hell are you? I tell him I own the house. He looks at her. She stammers. Starts walking toward me. Says the iconic line, I can explain. At this point the dude slips out the door. Once he leaves, her attitude changes. She snaps, like she was putting on a sweet attitude in front of that guy. Maybe if you hadn't been so focused on growing up quickly. We could have had fun in our 20s. Says she's been emotionally starved. In my head I realized we were completely different stages of life. She was trying to hang on to her youth. I was ready to grow up. But that doesn't excuse her for being a cheating bitch. There wasn't much point in arguing. She was cheating, and it was obvious. I told her she had to pack her things and leave immediately. She argues saying I can't kick her out. But I remind her the house is completely mine. She's arguing, saying she has partial ownership because we've been a couple for so long. Not going to lie, I did question myself then. That thing where you're technically married if you've been together for long enough. I hold my ground though. Eventually she caves and leaves. Stays probably with that guy. She comes back slowly picking up her stuff. In that time I looked up the partnership stuff. Luckily no laws where I am saying she would own it. Changed the locks that week. That's what triggers her. She shows up after work one day. Her keys don't work. She has a meltdown, but not angry at me. Sends long texts, emails, even wrote me a handwritten letter. Smelled like her perfume. Last line was, this doesn't have to be the end unless you want it to be. I wanted it to be. I wondered why she didn't just move on with that guy. I got nosy and looked him up. He's 23 and unemployed, just doing gigs sometimes with his band. She wanted to keep her youth, but probably realized the younger guys can't support her. Months go by. Focused on work. Start rock climbing. My back muscles are crazy now. Repainted the living room. Replaced all the dishes and bedding. Got a dog. Rescue mutt named Cash. Then one rainy Sunday, she shows up again. Hair's frizzy. Makeup smeared. Wearing one of my old hoodies. Car parked halfway on my lawn. Starts banging on the door. Not yelling. Just knocking over and over. Finally says, You really never love me if you can ignore me like this. Bro, what? Told her through the intercom she needed to leave. She started crying again. Stood in the rain for 15 minutes. I didn't open the door. Wasn't tempted. Was a little scared to be honest. But she leaves peacefully. In hindsight, it was a good thing I never married her. We had a lot of differences in life, especially with money. You don't really realize how someone changes until it smacks you in the face.